So we're here in Golden Gate Park with a man called Greg, and he's here to talk about his feelings about this Ferris wheel that's going in here without any public discussion, that they were negotiating. It must have been months, or at least a year probably, or more, behind our backs. Just a second, please. And then he's going to tell us about his feeling about other things, about the commercialization of private space. Go ahead, Greg.
Well, thank you. I mean, I just happened to be riding through the park today, and I grew up in San Francisco my whole life, and I've seen an increasing, first it was gradual, but an increasing monetization of the entire city of San Francisco. It seems like the people that are running this city, or not running this city, running it into the ground, are really turning it into a cash cow, where they're trying to figure out how they can maximize every single inch of space in this city. And they're selling parking places to private companies, to park bicycles, and under the auspice that it's going to be good for the city and it's easier for people to get around. But that's not the point. Those parking places are property of the people of San Francisco who pay taxes. And when you get Ferris wheels in a beautiful, iconic place like this in San Francisco that's got such a great history with movies and everything else that have been shot here, and then they put up a Ferris wheel like it's Coney Island or Niagara Falls. I mean, what an eyesore. I mean, John Muir said anything that's dollarable is not safe. And that is what rings true today when you look at something like this that's happening here.
Right. Are you aware? How much do you think it costs to ride this Ferris wheel? Do you know?
I don't know.
Well, how much would you guess?
The city of San Francisco is probably going to charge $25 a ride per person.
No, it's $18 for a 12-minute ride. However, the city only makes $1 per ride.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know all the nuts and bolts of it, but there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. And San Francisco is a beautiful city, and I love San Francisco, and it tears my heart apart when I see endless construction and people thinking that they have to improve everything, and the bottom line is the dollar,
Actually, it can be making it worse, but they call it an improvement anyway.
Well, the wording is everything. A lot of people don't
Yes.
have the time to really examine these things.
Exactly.
Kind of happen. And I just happened to be riding through the park today, and I heard people telling me, oh, they're going to put a Ferris wheel up. And I said, the beautiful thing is that over by 9th and Irving, there's a really beautiful old merry-go-round, that they refurbished years ago. And it's been there for quite a long time. And that is really a part of the history of San Francisco. And it's been there. But, this is just a step where they're just inching closer to what's next. What I see is what's next? Is it the Ferris wheel? Is it the roller coaster that they're going to put around here next? I mean, I don't know. I may not be around to see it. Maybe
Disneyland characters.
Yeah, I don't know. I think San Francisco is beautiful the way it is. Keep it clean
Are you aware what's going on in the Concourse over there? That they're putting in, that Illuminate, a so-called nonprofit, is putting in a light show, and they wanted to have a Harvey Milk motto that was vetoed, but they're still having this light show at night on the music concourse.
Yeah,
and it's closed off right now, so we can't use it.
Yeah, it's sad to say that I'm not aware of everything that's going on, and this was even a surprise to me because I had heard about it, and when I saw it, I thought they were actually taking down some of the monuments that have been here for a long time. So I came back over to take a look at it, but
no such luck.
Yeah. Anyway, I was shocked to hear that they're putting a Ferris wheel, especially in this particular location. And the development that's happening. You go over to Laurel Hill, which is where the old Farmers building is, right there on California between Laurel and Presidio. Beautiful. I think I don't know how many acres it is. Maybe 80 acres, something like that. It's pretty big. And, they're going to develop it and put condos up. And they're doing the same thing with the California Pacific Medical Center on California and Cherry. These are condos. They're just putting condos up. And we've already got traffic jams. And then the city council wants to take California Street, wean it down to one lane. And then they're going to cut down all the trees on Laurel Hill where they want to put those condos up. There's 290 old growth trees there. So, it's just one thing after another, maximizing and building for profit. And I don't see an end to it. And I probably won't be around if it continues on. But from my perspective, it's hard to see. It's continuing.
And you were saying something about a state of emergency?
Well, the state of emergency, it's just an opinion. But I feel like the state of emergency has very little to do with the coronavirus, and it's political, in my opinion. We've got investigations coming up with Attorney General Bill Barr in Durham, and they're looking into the past administration and a lot of the machinations that occurred with corruption and trade deals, and there's a lot of bad people in Washington that got caught with their hands in the cookie jar. And you know, Trump wasn't supposed to be elected. They're turning him into the scapegoat. So they want to tank the economy, and they want to distract. And a state of emergency is the perfect thing to do that. And if this was a real state of emergency, you got like Lyft drivers and Uber drivers out there that are really, you know, making the least amount of money in San Francisco, and they say, okay, no more carpooling, no more ride sharing, but you can still pick up, you know, 3, 4, 5 people. Well, okay, if this is a state of emergency and it's a deadly virus, you're closing down all the restaurants. Why are you letting Lyft drivers go out and risk their lives picking up people that could potentially give them something that would kill them? And they don't have health insurance, and they barely make minimum wage. So, I mean, you know, the hypocrisy in a lot of this stuff is absurd, and to me, it's entirely political.
Do you feel there's a lot of corruption in San Francisco?
Oh, God. I'm not even going to go there, you know, because I don't have any firsthand knowledge. It's only a feeling, and it's only what I see. So, you know.
Thank you.
That's all I got to say.
Thanks a lot. That was
All
great.
right.